Hi, everyone. Neil Douglas, American Truth Finders. As I was preparing for tonight's show, I have to tell you, this has been quite a quite a topic that's been kind of hard to follow. When I say follow, to find good information on. As I had mentioned on my last show, that I wanted to do a show about the homeless that might have the coronavirus. And I got to thinking afterwards that I should cover more than just the coronavirus, so that's what I'm going to do. Um, I do want your comments. I can read them. I can let other viewers read them, uh, and I will respond. Again, I apologize for the squeaking. It's my microphone cord, and I have still yet to figure out how I'm going to fix that. Anyway, the situation with the homeless, that that in itself, and I'm going to go through some numbers in some of the states that you may live in and may not even be aware of the numbers of homeless people in the state. Now, and when I say homeless, I'm not just talking those that are all by themselves. I'm talking families. I'm talking kids that are by themselves. Vets. Wow. This whole thing. You have homeless that I have. It's a funny thing. Let me adjust my chair here, and I appreciate your patience with me. But here's something that I want you to think about. With homeless, you've got several things, and I know many of you are, well, most of you probably are very wise, and you understand what the conditions for homelessness is. My concern is how many of you out there have seen much in the media. I don't call it news, I call it opinion or conversation or whatever you want to label it, but to me it's not news anymore. But how many of you seen articles even that have been posted and or put on TV that you watch about the homeless, other than pictures of a lot of homeless in big cities just on the streets, and how maybe they have been tried to be pushed off the streets? They don't really talk about the virus. They don't really talk about other things, such as the unsanitary living conditions, exposure to severe weather, snow, heat, rain, you name it. Uh, I guess what are some of the common health problems? These are common ones. Now, I'm not talking about coronavirus. I'm talking about common health issues. Now, do me a favor and share this video if you would, not because to promote me, but to promote this issue. Make your comments to me. Tell me, maybe you know somebody who's homeless, or maybe you have known someone who's homeless, and they are willing to tell their story. But some of these issues, just some of the ordinary issues that homeless people deal with are HIV or AIDS. And no, that's not a thing of the past. Yes, it is much more under control, but it still exists. Lung diseases. Wow. That does go along with coronavirus, although that's not part of this particular issue or article that I found. What about bronchitis? And for those of you that are not familiar with the word tuberculosis, it's also called TB. That's been around for years. But how many people on the streets, how many homeless people on the streets might have that? We don't even have a number on it. And then Pneumonia. Now that ties in with the bronchitis. That ties in with the lung diseases. It 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 ties into the coronavirus, and yet there's other things. You have mental problems. You have substance problems. You have wound and skin issues and problems, infections. That's something that people don't even think about. And I don't know if you're aware of this, but women have a very, very, very serious issue with skin problems when they get them. This is not uncommon. How many of you are even thinking about any of this? How many of you are really thinking about the homeless right now? I'm going to ask you to please write me a comment. And Beatrice, thank you for that. I appreciate it. I'm concerned. I'm concerned because many of the homeless people are dealing with trauma. You know, this is a thing that you and I may not have to deal with. So we don't have a clue. We don't know what these people are dealing with. What we are aware of is that they're having problems that you and I don't have. And you know, it's sad because it, 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 it may have been because they were abused or assaulted. And this includes homeless children, for crying out loud. Ladies and gentlemen, pay attention to what I'm telling you. You know, we've talked about so many things in the last few videos that I've done. But this is something I really wanted to cover because no one really has. I mean, I'm not saying you out there personally, because on Facebook or YouTube or whatever, there are discussions about it, and there are articles online, but so many of the articles are outdated. I've got a state by state list for 2020 right now. I don't know exactly what the date is because it doesn't tell me, but it is for 2020. But here's the thing that I'm concerned about is how many of you out there know of someone who is homeless and in this situation. Now, I want to talk about the virus. I really do. And yes, I do have my paperwork here in front of me or my notes, just like I would when I did radio. So just get used to it, okay? We have two issues that people are not discussing. Well, they are discussing some on the vets. But how many vets are being left out of the picture, for crying out loud? You know, it really bothers me that vets are homeless. We see ads on TV about those that have lost their legs, their arms, maybe both legs, both arms. It doesn't matter. Or maybe they've lost their ability to speak. They've had to learn all over again. But how many people out there that are vets that are homeless? How many of you? I want any of you to tell me. I dare any of you to tell me that you know someone who is a vet that was or is homeless. And have you asked them how it affected them? I'm telling you right now, the possibility of them having the virus is very, very, very strong. I'm talking about vets, yes. They're part, so many of these vets are part of the homeless. Nowhere to go, no family. Many of them lost their families because their families gave up on them. because these vets came home with post-traumatic stress disorder, or maybe some other type of mental illness because of the tragedy and because of the terrible things they had to see and do. I'm serious about this. I don't know about you, but apparently uh, uh, not many of you are watching, or if you are, you're not commenting because you don't have anything to say. I understand that. The thing of it is that researchers have found that 1 out of 147 that have been tested for the virus is either homeless in a shelter, and that's just in Boston, Massachusetts, and would have to have met the official criteria for testing, which is a fever. Now we're going to touch on a situation that this includes kids that are by themselves. When I say children, I'm talking about children that are from maybe what, 10, 11, 12, up to 16, 17 that are homeless. Maybe they ran away. Maybe they were in an abusive situation. Maybe who knows? Who knows? Homeless shelters. We've heard a lot about the nursing homes and how it spread through nursing homes. Which one of you out there has heard anything about the shelters that are packed full of people that may have the virus, including kids, including the vets? I'm not talking about those that are on the streets, because those are on the streets. I'm telling you right now, the numbers are astonishing. The numbers are absolutely way over the mountain. This is like we've heard about nursing homes, how it spread and killed so many people in the nursing home. Now, we've discussed the numbers. Are they correct? We've discussed the numbers of how many times, if you're tested, every time you're tested, it's counted, and if it's positive, it's counted as a number. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't even have a clue. All I know is, yes, the virus does exist. I believe that. And the numbers, I honestly cannot tell you if I believe them or not. I'm skeptical to believe the numbers are as high as they are, but I'm not a doctor. I'm not a scientist. I think the numbers might be fictitious, but the numbers are real. That there are people dying in all countries and in all of our states in the United States. But going back to what I was talking about with the nursing homes, you saw what happened when New York City took and put people into nursing homes that had coronavirus. They put them all together. And look at the death rate. Look at the death rate. Well, what do you think is happening into these homeless shelters? The homeless shelter where one person has the virus will or can spread it to someone, to everybody, because it's just going to be like throwing a bowling ball down the alley and hits the head pin, and all of a sudden all of the pins fall over. You got the same thing going on in this type of situation for homeless people. I'd like somebody to comment for me, if you would. Just, I don't care who it is. Does it even bother you to think about the homeless? Or does it concern you? If it does, just send me a message. Send me a message that, yes, it bothers me. Yes, I have thought about it. But we haven't heard enough about it. That's the thing that concerns me deeply. It concerns me extremely deeply. You know, I have a feeling sometimes, sometimes we tend to have, I mean, we all have our own problems and issues. Right now, especially with a lot of people out of work and a lot of people hurting financially, but we have a tendency to think more about ourselves and how we feel sorry for ourselves than we do for those that really need the help. Many of you, and I know because many of you are my friends on Facebook, do care about these people. You've expressed it. You've even asked for donations. You've even shown broken hearts for people that are homeless, that have died from the coronavirus, have lost loved ones from the coronavirus, their friends, or those that have it now, and we pray that they will recover. What about the homeless? I'm going back to that. How much health care are they getting? Those especially that are on the street. Do you think they might not have the virus? Do you think that they're just there because they want to be? Do you think that they're there because they don't have a home to live in or because they're mentally ill? I got news for you. This isn't the case. How many people are going to be out in the streets if they lose any rent assistance because of this terrible thing that's happened to us? I'm 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 almost at a loss for words, and those of you that know me know that that's never happened. I'm not at a loss for words, but I am in this particular situation because I'm telling you, it is serious that we've got people that are in homeless shelters that are probably not even, we don't even know the numbers. We have no idea what the numbers are of those that have this virus or have other issues going on that need to be attended to medically. And those that are on the streets, it's unreal. It is, before the virus, we knew they were homeless people. They were those, remember, and I don't like to use these terms, but people would use the term that they were either uh, addicted or there used to be a term called winos. And I'm not trying to step on anybody's toes or hurt anybody's feelings, but yes, those words did exist. And those were the homeless people. Well, that's not the case anymore. Do your research. Don't believe me. Do your research. This is not just words coming out of my mouth. These are things that I've been very concerned about because I don't see it on the commentaries, on the opinionated programs. You know, researchers are giving us all kinds of reports that are so conflicting, and I want at least one of you to tell me you agree that what we're hearing, what we're reading, what we're seeing, there is so much conflicting difference that we don't know what to believe. Going back to the homeless, I do know what to believe. They're crammed into either shelters where their diseases can exist and spread, or they're finding out that they're on the streets under tents. And I'm not talking about these cities. I'm not talking about these cities that have these unwanted type of, or they do want these cities where no cops, no police. I'm not referring to them. I'm talking about those that are under spread out all over with tents and with sleeping bags and whatever food they can get their hands on, digging out of garbage. How many of these are so sick because they can't even get any medical help? What do? Get a bulldozer, put them all, shovel them all up and put them in a barrel or in a dumpster someplace and just forget about them? I think we better start thinking about them. I'm very serious, people. I'm very serious. Yes, I've got my notes here, and I am looking at some things here because I wanted to get some important things out. And I did hear today that going back to coronavirus, which has affected a lot of people, but I did hear today that the World Health Organization, which I can't stand, and I'm so glad that we're not a part of it anymore, but they lied about when the virus started. If you didn't know that, you'll know it when you watch the commentaries. You know, health departments in the United States have started implementing interventions, such as relocating homeless people to stadiums or where there's bed space available, or wherever they can put them. Now, are they getting health care? Are they getting health care? I'm really questioning that. You know, I feel almost like I'm talking to myself. And maybe I am, maybe I'm not. I'll know when I'm done. But I will tell you, we have people out there that, and I'm one of them, that question the actual numbers of the virus and whether or not, I even had questioned whether it really existed. Well, apparently it really does. Like I said, I have a friend of mine that even told me that he did lose 2 friends to the virus. But my main concern right now is the fact that whether it's a virus or whether it's a flu, you've got people that are homeless without any homes, and I'm talking about children, I'm talking about vets, I'm talking about families, I'm talking about individuals, human beings. Going back to what I said earlier at the beginning of the show about having bronchial issues, lung issues, tuberculosis, pneumonia, who's treating them? If they're on the streets, who's treating them? Who's helping them? Where are they burying these people that die? What about the unsanitary part? And I'm going to get a little I don't want to say vulgar, but let me put it this way. Think of the feces that they're living around. Is that unsanitary? How many people are going to get sick from that? These people are homeless. These people are not getting the help that they need. These people are prone to probably the virus faster than anybody else. But other than when you see these crowds of people that want to gather together and be together because they're invulnerable. Now, all of a sudden, guess what? We got a spike in how many states of the virus? Again, they're not talking about the homeless. They're not talking about the children that don't have a house to live in, that have run away or maybe just become homeless. Whatever the case might be, I don't have a clue because I don't know all of the situations. All I know is that they exist. These are real people, human beings. I'm going to give you just a couple ideas of what the homeless is right now. In California, and this is bigger than some of the cities that you people live in. In California, there's 151,278 homeless, and there's 7,044 households that are homeless. Veterans, 10,980, almost 11,000 people. And young adults, here we go. I wonder if this includes the children. 11,993. These are 2020 figures, by the way. I don't know how far back they go. I'm guessing this has probably gotten bigger and faster. New York, 92,091 homeless, 15,091 households, double what California has. 1,270 veterans. Young adults, 2,700 or 978. These are two of the largest cities, or states, I should say. In some of the smaller states, let's say North Carolina, almost 10,000 homeless, 767 families, over 900 vets are homeless. You know, and 417 young adults. If we were to total these up, which I didn't do, I was going to total them up, and I should have. I apologize that I didn't. But believe me, I've got the numbers right here. You can look them up yourself, state by state. What are the homeless numbers? How many of these people, so you look it up, are being treated for coronavirus or any other illness that they might have? How many of them are stuck in a shelter where the coronavirus is spreading and we're not hearing a darn thing about it? Not one damn thing are we hearing. Does it bother you? Does it bother you at all? When I get done with this video, I'm going to repost it, of course, for those that have missed it, didn't get a chance to see it, didn't get a chance to comment on it, or didn't want to. But I'm going to repost it, and I hope you share the thing. I really do. I hope you share this. This may be boring to you, me talking about homeless people that might have these type of illnesses, especially the virus, which is going around, and that's the talk of the town now. I refer to that as an old saying. But the bottom line is it is happening. Where are the numbers that we're hearing about coronavirus, including the homeless that are on the street or the homeless that are in the shelters, and the spreading of it for those states that have opened up and now they're shutting back down? Is it because of the fact that and yes, the numbers are, age group is younger. We know that because they've gone to bars, etc. They've partied, and hey, when we were young at those ages, that's what we did. Ladies and gentlemen, it's getting close for me to wrap this up. I didn't want to go this long, but I did want to at least hope that you would give this some thought about the homeless people, what's happening to them, who's treating them for their health issues, how are they being treated, what's happening if they die, what's happening to these children, what's happening to so many people. Please share this video. please share it. Not for me, but for those people out there that might know what to do. Please give this some thought. Make some comments for me, please. I respect your opinions. And I am going to post this not only again on Facebook, but I'm also going to put it on my YouTube channel. I've gone over time, what I call overtime, because, you know, when I talk like this, I do get to rambling. My name is Neil Douglas, American Truth Finders. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. Please share, please comment. And think about these homeless people that we don't have a clue what's really going on with them. Thank you for watching. Until next time. God bless America. God bless the people in America. Thank you, and good night.